Guys, welcome back to the channel. Guess what we're getting ready to watch? Oh yeah, you guessed it, you know it, and it is happening. We are going to get ready to watch Halloween Kills. Now, for those who watch my channel, they know I do a lot of movie reactions, and there's a lot of fans going on in the background because it is hot. I do a lot of movie reactions, and oh, that's so ominous. Look at that. That's so cool. Okay, I do a lot of movie reactions, and people are going to be asking, Jordan, why aren't you doing a movie reaction for Halloween Kills? And to be blunt and simple, it's because Halloween. I've already seen Halloween and Halloween 2018 and all the other Halloween films, and I feel like I want to be. I try to be as. I try to be as. What's the word I want to say for this moment? Consistent. I want to be as consistent as possible, and I don't feel like it's necessary to do a reaction to a movie that's a sequel to a film I've already seen and haven't posted a reaction to. Do you know what I mean? I'd feel weird posting a Halloween Kills reaction and not a Halloween 2018 or Halloween reaction at that. So to me, it'd be kind of pointless. But we're going to go ahead and make some poppycorn, and we're going to go in there and watch Halloween Kills on the HD screen. I will give you guys my little opinions about it, as I know that guy freaked me out for a second. I forgot he was in the window. So we're going to make popcorn and hopefully enjoy this movie. So we're going to go over here and grab the popcorn. Sorry about the angle. You know what? I can't make the Jiffy Pop. I've said to myself I'm going to keep that Jiffy Pop. Jiffy Pop was sent to me by Crystal. I'm going to keep it and put it on the background in my videos at some point, but we're going to find a different popcorn. So I couldn't find any popcorn, so I'm actually going to have little bites. Yeah, these little muffin things. Yeah, I couldn't find the fucking popcorn. I don't think we have any. And I'm like, oh no, movie night without popcorn. That's blasphemy. We're going to use a cup. We're going to use a Halloween-ish cup. So hopefully we can find a Halloween-ish cup to use for this movie because I want to drink with style and a Halloween flair. Okay. So let's search here. Oh, you know what? That might be the perfect one. No. Aha! Excited, sleepy, confused, and jealous. Oh, yeah. Alright, we got our coffee cup. Okay, guys, as I said, I'm going to be watching Halloween Kills. I'll give you guys little hints and tidbits. I'll do a review after the video, but we're going to go ahead and dive into this thing. Of course, I got my coffee and my muffins right there. Muffins aren't the essential snack I wanted, but you know what? It's okay. So, yeah, we're going to dive into Halloween Kills, and I'll tell you guys what I think of it. I'm not raising my hopes, because, you know, when you raise your hopes too high, for some reason, movies backstab you sometimes, so you can't let it do that to you. But we're gonna go ahead and dive into this thing, and I'm gonna keep my expectations at a very stable level and go into this thing hoping for the best. So sorry about that. Hoping for the best. So of course I'll check you guys after the video. Welcome, movie friends. How are you guys doing today? Today we are going to be talking about Halloween Kills. Yeah, finally hit Peacock and theaters. Been waiting about 2 years for this movie. Really excited to see it, and I gotta tell you, first I'm gonna give my pros of the film. I will tell you my pros, then I'll go to my mixed opinions, then I'll go to my cons. And actually, I went live earlier to kind of get a better better understanding of how I felt about the movie, because when the movie ended last night, to be honest with you, I didn't know how to feel. I was kind of mixed on it. I was very mixed on it, to be actually blunt. I was very mixed. There was a lot of things I didn't know how to accept. And it's not really, it's more of a script thing, a problem, I think, when I sit back and think about it. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the pros, the best parts about the movie, which are obviously, you know, what everybody already says is Michael Myers. Michael Myers is by far probably the best part of the film. I mean, every scene he's in, he steals, and he's not only a scene stealer, but he's also brutal as fuck. This is one of the most violent, if not the most violent, Halloween movie to existence to date. Actually, I would say it is the most violent Halloween film to date. This film has kills that are just so brutal, and the scenes that you think are spoiled in the trailers are actually not really even spoiled. It doesn't really scratch the surface of how many kills are actually in this movie. I think the kills are just brutal, violent, gory. They're exactly what it's promising. I mean, the movie is exactly what it promised. It is Halloween kills. It Halloweened at night, and there's a lot of kills. And it's all done by Michael Myers, who is just a fucking brute and a vicious monster in this movie. And I gotta say, on that level, it's an awesome movie. But on the storytelling level, it's pretty... I don't even know how to say it. It's not really all there. I mean, there are people who are now saying that it's one of the worst sequels out there of Halloween. And I wouldn't go as far as saying that. I think it's at least in the top 4 or 5 best sequels in the Halloween franchise. Don't get me wrong. But compared to the Halloween 2018 film, it just lacks character motive. I wouldn't say character motive. Character development. Character motive. Character development. It lacks a lot of character development. There's not a lot going on here when it comes to character development because most of the characters that you were introduced in the first one are kind of thrown to the side and are now side characters, which is an interesting thing to really get into, but you know, that's we'll get to more of that here in a bit. But you know, the pros: Michael Myers, phenomenal. James Jude Courtney, he's pretty damn close to being up there with Nick Castle, if not already there, or better than Nick Castle at this rate. Seriously, he is phenomenal in this movie, and how can you not talk about the Shape in this movie? He's insane. He's scary, and that's probably one of the things that, you know, a lot of Halloween sequels in the past really started kind of dying down on, and that was the level of scary that the Shape really is. He is terrifying in this movie, so that is a highlight and a big plus to me. Obviously, you got Laurie Strode, the rest of the Strode girls who are awesome. Allison surprised me in this movie a lot. Actually, I liked her. She probably had the best character development out of all 3 of the women in this movie, out of the 3 Strode ladies. She probably had the best character development out of all of them. And actually, Cameron, who didn't really get to see much of in the first one, and when he was introduced, he was kind of thrown to the side not too long after, and he gets a lot of good character development in this movie. I actually think his character progresses quite well in this movie, and I like that. So he was a very good attribute. And then we got Tommy Doyle, who's introduced in this one. Well, he was introduced in the 1978 one, but he comes back in this one as an adult, and he is a mob leader. So now he's on the hunt for Michael Myers and starting up mobs and stuff, saying we need to get rid of this guy. Not only him, but of course Sheriff Brackett, who is also involved with that. He gets involved, and that's pretty cool. A lot of characters from the 78 film make reappearances in this one, and I gotta say, pretty fun. I like that. I mean, I do like it. So some are really kind of just thrown under the bus, you know. They were introduced just to be killed or things along those lines, you know, but overall, still rather cool. I mean, it's just fun. It's neat to see that they get something out of this, right? So I gotta appreciate that for what it is. Probably the biggest praise I will give this movie is it's fun. It's a good Halloween fun popcorn flick to go with your family just to watch the gruesome carnage that will be presented to you. It is a carnage fest of gore and blood, and that is exactly the whole runtime of the movie. It is so carnage heavy, and I love it for that reason. I like, seriously, we get a slow burn of a first film sequel, the 2018 one, and then we get just nothing but awesome carnage, right? So I can't not appreciate that in some levels. As a slasher fan, I love that. And it felt like a very cool 80s slasher film. A lot of the 1978 stuff, by the way, is in this movie, and that is also a big plus. The 1978 stuff felt like the 1978 film, from the tone to the way the cameras looked to even the cameo by a certain character. I will not spoil, but it's not really a spoiler because it was in the trailer. Fuck it, I'll say it anyways. Dr. Loomis makes an appearance in this movie, which was awesome. I love Donald Pleasence as Loomis, and you probably couldn't have gotten any closer to the way this guy looks. I mean, the guy looked almost spot on like Dr. Loomis. It was almost incredible. It was incredible, actually. I take that back. So many great moments in this movie. However, now we're going to get into the mixed things, and the mixed parts of the movie for me are the story. You know, I knew what I was getting myself into. It is the mob versus Michael Myers. The town of Haddonfield versus The Shape. Who's going to come out on top? That was the movie that was promised to us, and we got that movie. This is that movie. doesn't mean it always lands the hit. It doesn't always land that punch, you know? It's not always 100% awesome because it is what it promised. So there's obviously some things that are in the movie that are probably going to take you out of it. Some of those things are the dialogue. Some of these characters say some of the most cringiest lines. Not really the cringiest, but it's not really necessarily something a person would say in a situation like this. The characters felt like movie characters. So a lot of the characters, when they talk, they sound like they're saying one-liners, or they're saying things that would look good in a trailer. You know, it's just like, because I even noticed when the trailers come out, they have a lot of these like one-liners and stuff, and to me, that's not what it's about. It's not about trying to market your movie by making all of your characters say one-liners and quotable things. You can't just do that all the time. You got to have realistic lines. You got to have dialogue that feels real, and especially in a movie where you're trying to be as realistic as possible. There are really some realistic situations that certain characters are being put in. I mean, to start a mob, to start the psyche of a mob, how the people are feeling about certain things, about what is going on in their town. Like, there's this guy who has literally been terrorizing Haddonfield for years and years and years. Not being there, but the word of mouth from him is just terrifying enough. This man is a murderer. He is a killer. Now the town has to try to face that killer. They are being put on the spot to have no choice but to go after him. We decide Michael Myers' fate. This is the night he dies, and they go after him. And I mean, there's some moments in this movie to where I was like, I don't know how a real mob would interact with this situation. And this was a very interesting kind of take on that kind of idea. So I appreciate it in that level. I mean, Halloween 4 kind of dove into it, which, you know, a lot of people weren't complaining about that, but now that there's a town trying to do what they're doing in here, and they're trying to get everybody pumped up to try to kill this guy, I mean, you can't just, like, say, hey, here's a bat, let's go kill this fucking guy. We have to build up we have to pump you up. We have to be like, you know, this motherfucker's killing kids. He's eating dogs. We need to go after him. You know, and, you know, evil dies tonight, and they really do make you feel like, you know, oh, God, we need to pick up a pitchfork, you know? Not saying it works all the time, but to me, I felt the frustration of this town, who was just a peaceful town trying to enjoy a Halloween night, and now this motherfucker is coming back with a vengeance. Having said that, let's get to the negatives of the movie. I feel like this movie could have been longer. The movie ends rather quick. When the movie ended, I felt very empty inside, and that's why I went live, because I didn't know how to feel about that. I think the overall ending affected the way I viewed the film overall at the end, because I was enjoying the hell out of it. But then the ending came up, and I was like, well, what the fuck? And maybe that could be that the film was delayed so long that my enthusiasm for the film was just so high at this point just to see it, and that might have been my fault, that I felt like I wanted more out of it. I don't know. But it's an interesting thought, for sure. I just feel like after waiting so long, it kind of sucks to get an ending like that, you know? I've waited so long to see this movie, and now I got an ending like that. And now I'm just left like, well, now I want to see the next one right now so I know what to think, you know? I highly enjoyed this movie. You know, that was my biggest criticism with the movie. It was way too fucking fast. Like, the pacing of the movie is actually solid, though. So, which is odd to say. It does go by pretty fast, and I wanted to see more. Maybe it was, exactly, I think that's actually it right now. I'm actually coming up with why I hated the ending so much. And I didn't hate the ending, but I didn't, like, appreciate the ending. Maybe because I felt so spoiled, you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to see this thing for so long that now that the movie ended the way it did, I'm like, well, you know what? I didn't wait 2 years just for that. You know what I mean? Maybe that's it. Maybe I just discovered and answered my own question. I don't know. But overall, I mean, if I were to grade these movies, I'll go ahead and grade the first one as a 10 out of 10, because I love John Carpenter's Halloween. I think it's the best slasher movie of all time. I think it's one of the best horror films of all time, if not my personal favorite horror film of all time. So 10 out of 10 for the original. I'd give Halloween 2018 a 9.1 out of 10, because I love the movie. I love the slow burn feel. I like that it feels like John Carpenter's Halloween. In my opinion, it does. I love the score of that film. And another positive about, oh my god, how could I almost forget? The score of this movie is fucking amazing. It's awesome. It fits perfectly with the movie, but as it should have, because it's John Carpenter scoring it. And I mean, it's composed by John Carpenter. He composed the first two. He composed this one. Of course, it was going to be awesome, and it does fit the music is just 100% beautiful. I'm going to probably buy the soundtrack for all the movies at this rate. So, John Carpenter's Halloween soundtrack, of course, phenomenal stuff. But overall, I would probably give this movie, since I gave the 2018 film 9.1 out of 10, I'm feeling a strong 8.6 out of 10. I feel like that is a fair grade for this movie. I really enjoyed it. I know I can understand the criticisms. I can understand the hate for certain parts of the movie that people did not like. I get it. I 100% understand. I watched the movie, and I just knew immediately, oh no, this movie's not going to hit with everybody. You know what I mean? You just know. You just know. So I don't think it's a bad movie. I don't think it's as bad as people are making it out to be. But I do understand the frustration. I think that's what it really is, the frustration of certain aspects of where they were going with the story and where they decided to go. And why people were so upset was because, they had to wait 2 years just to see that. And the hype was being built. Oh, God, the hype was being built by people like Jamie Lee Curtis and all that stuff. The hype was like, oh, the hype is there. It is worth every moment of the wait. Trust me, it's phenomenal. And people were making this thing sound like the Halloween movie of probably the best Halloween film since the first Halloween. People were making it seem like it was that. So I can understand the frustration. I can understand the disappointment. Was I disappointed? A smidgen. But I was not let down, if that makes perfect sense. I was not let down by this movie. I enjoyed myself. I was like, yes, okay, the carnage is here. Oh my God, more popcorn shoved in my face. I love it. And I did. I genuinely, a side of me loves this movie. A side of me really, really likes this movie. And a side of me is just meh. Is that weird? Okay. So an 8.6 out of 10 for me. I enjoyed the movie quite a bit. I liked it a lot. I think there are certainly some flaws with this movie, as I do find in most movies I watch. But I had a fun time this Halloween watching it. So let me know down below what you guys thought of this. I'm curious to hear your opinions. Did you guys like it? Did you guys love it? Did you guys hate it? I don't know. I would love to hear your thoughts on this movie. Maybe you disagree with me on a lot of things. That's okay. But we post as often as we can. We keep it retro while we do it, Movie Friends, and we enjoy doing it. So until the next time, take care and have a happy Halloween.